You talk about adding creative directors to use the pods differently and start to innovate with the format. We're kind of stuck in 30s and 15s because that's what you buy, Ben. So how do you see like the workflow evolving between creative agency, media agency, and network over time in order to accommodate more creative formats for linear?
And probably the best example of that is, and this, Joe, I'm lauding, heaping praise on Fox here, was what we did with Empire. All right, that was a situation where we had the media agency, our content group, the content collective, I guess it was the creative agency, and of course Fox from the beginning. And and I'm sure Sharon will say this as well. This is not for everybody, all right? It makes sense if you have a lot of content. If you're already an entertainment client, State Farm does a lot of work with concerts, so we have and sponsoring concert series, so we have a lot of content with that as well. So I wouldn't say every single advertiser should go grab all their agencies, put them in a room, and come up with creative development to fill up a pod. But when they do, it's exactly that. Get everybody in a room and make it happen. And to your point, I think what you refer to yourselves now as not a network, but a content producer, right?
That's
so,
right.
And you are not alone in that. Almost all of our network partners are doing the same kind of efforts. So we have a partner on both sides, and that makes better work.
And I'll just talk like Simul Media, the work that you do, where you're basically audiences, you're aggregating audiences, right, and targets. What I would like is like, all right, if you look within our ecosystem, where is that person that you're trying to reach? I know one of your clients said they were a hotel chain trying to put heads on beds. I'm like, okay, so you know in our world, based on your analytics, where they are. How do I amp up the creative value of that person in our environment? And to me, that's bringing the creative director from that client together with our team and put him in the right show and making it really sticky for them. So again, it's using the data and the analytics to narrow it down, but then amping up the entertainment value for the consumer.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, I do want to say, and again, I hate being like the wet blanket, like it's weird being like
clearly hate it, Joe.
Yeah, no,
it just kills you.
It's the worst. But the thing with 30s and 15s is like, I was listening to someone talk and they're like, why does a story have to be 15 or 30 seconds? Can't the story just be as long as the story needs to be? And I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. But the problem is markets don't trade $60 billion without a currency, right? And the currency is time. So it could be longer or shorter, but the reason that OMD can trade on, so we can do things like the Empire, and thank you, by the way, because you helped me hit my quota without me having to do it. It's like great. But the reason why you do things like that is it's almost like that's kind of the cherry on top of like product placement has been around for a long time. It makes up in the single digit billions of dollars. Soap operas aren't new either, but commercials make up 60 billion, and that's markets trade when we have a commodity pricing. And so 15s and 30s are commodity pricing, and so we need that because it gets really hard to scale otherwise. And like you see it with the digital platforms. Like look at the digital platforms. The difference between what we'd call native content creation and selling commercials is the difference between riding a bike and running. Running, you stop. You don't put the foot in front of the next one. You're done running. Like riding a bike actually can build momentum and scale, and that's what I think like we have to get to.
Well, we're just about out of time, and I was just thinking to myself, somehow we made it through a whole panel and didn't hear the word native once, but so you broke that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, the French word for programmatic is programmatique.
Yes.
So you guys are good to go.
Or as many people know, I call it the P word. Listen, great conversation. Clearly a lot happening in the world of television, content, value exchange, consumer choice, new ad loads, new formats. A lot we have to look forward to. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.